Greetings, Earthlings. Hello. Stop in and say hi. I'm Planet Mitch from rocketcom, and today I'm excited. And I really hate it when people say, hey, today I'm going to talk about. And I still think about doing it because it's beat into my head. I am really excited about something that I've done over the weekend, and I'm going to share that with you if that's okay. There was a question in the upViral group about what does it take to go viral? Two-finger fancy quotes. She used a different word, and I can't come up with a different word, but that's a very common question. And I've been working with a tool called funnelytics, which is a really awesome tool for doing traffic, monitoring page funnel layouts, and for doing stuff like forecasting. They've just added a forecasting feature. And so I spent like all day yesterday trying to figure out exactly how to make or get funnelytics to show me a forecast of traffic. And the more I played with it, the more I realized how valuable it is to actually have an image, and I know this is a shocker, to explain what's going on, because it's kind of vague. And I know if you've watched any of Wilco's videos or Jack from Viper or some of the other people, it just kind of seems like magic, and they make it seem like it's viral and things are going to go boom, bang, boom. But in my book, one of my professors in college taught me you need to be able to understand the processes before you can really exploit things to make them work really well. You got to know what's going on in the background. So if you're okay, I'm going to spend, this is probably going to be 10 minutes. So if you're here with me, be patient. Please comment and say you're here so that I know who's here. I see some people popping in, so thank you very much. But I don't get to see who you are unless you comment. And I'm taking off my sweatshirt because I'm getting warm now. We're getting ready to get into it. And so we're going to have some fun, right? So let's have a little bit of... Well, I'm getting ready, so let's play some Jeopardy music, right? I'm going to switch to my desktop. And what I'm going to do... Oh, that goes on for a long time, doesn't it? I'm going to switch to Keynote, because what I've done is I've put together some presentation material because I'm going to teach this in a class, right? I'm going to teach class on planning for campaigns, and that's the thing that is most sorely lacking from most people. I got a thumbs up from somebody. Hey, thank you for that. In the process... Hey, Nina Franks from London, thank you for popping in. Hi, and commenting. What's the weather like in London? It is cold here in St. Louis, dark and icky. Temperature is currently 53 Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is, Celsius. We egotistical Americans. All right, so what you see now is a very simple, basic starting process. And what I want to do, if you give me just like maybe a minute, I'm going to go through and explain how things really work, and then we're going to dive into the numbers side of it. So this is your basic lead page, right? And I've got a picture of the Fuji campaign that I did that's also available as a demo. Nina and I were just talking about another demo in private message over Messenger. Thank you for that. So if you think about this stuff that's over here on the left-hand side, that's traffic, right? It's direct traffic. And I just clicked on something and jumped ahead. So we're here. So this is what if you think about it as direct traffic, this traffic that you or your sponsor or whomever sends directly to the campaign. Nina says, London is wet and miserable, of course, but we are having quite a mild day at 11 Celsius. Well, maybe later I'll convert that to... I mean, if 32 is 0 in Celsius... All right, anyway. So this lead page, you're going to send traffic, and this is the stuff that you or your sponsor, or if you're working with people, you're going to send it directly to the landing page. And so the process is that you send them to the landing page, they click on the button, enter their form data, click on the button, and they get to the share page. And the sharing page is what we use to send people back into the process. Now, the tools send transactional emails and you register new contacts. So at the point that they click that, you've got somebody new in your database. Now, when they're sitting on the share page, there's an option for some sharing buttons. And you see in really, really small, there are buttons here that they click. And if they click those, then they share your message with their unique link on social media, which is the goal of modern campaigns. This is the part that's the gold, right? So that makes this thing that we call the viral loop and sends new people back into the front end of the process. We call that referred traffic. Two different words, direct traffic and referred traffic. And it's important to understand the difference, right? The referred traffic is the absolute drop dead gold because those are people that you never had access to. You may have sent stuff in directly, but the referred traffic is expanding your network. This is where the money is. This is what you really want, right? And we also have something called custom actions, which is over here. But the reason I put it on here is for you to understand that custom actions, even though you can send them to your Facebook page and say, like my Facebook page, sign up for my chatbot, blah, 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 typically those are not bringing somebody back into your campaign. They're just sending people, you might get new social media context, blah, 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 but that stuff isn't adding anything to the pie in terms of new leads. So what about this viral thing? And let's look at some numbers. Now, what I'm going to do, because it gets a little more simplistic if we separate these things. So in this chart, what I've done is I've taken the direct lead opt-in, because I want to put some numbers on here and I want to make it visible. And I've split that so that there's a second visual image, but it's the same thing. If you see here, both are the same page. There's the same physical page, same URL. There's nothing different other than we're displaying it differently here on the chart so we can separate the referred traffic from the direct traffic. So it makes a lot more sense visually, right? You with me? Let me know if you're with me. Now, let's start to put some numbers on this. If you send in traffic, and let's suppose that all of that traffic sends in 1,000 people, and let's suppose your conversion rate is 30%, you're going to get 300 people on a share page, right? Simple math. Let's suppose all 300 of those people clicked on one of those sharing buttons and shared your message. That means you're going to get 300 social shares out there somewhere on the planet. Maybe not on the planet, but out there in the ether, right?
Oh boy!
We like having social media stuff out there. So again, we're assuming that one person or every person shares at least one time. Now we know, when we start really talking about numbers, we know that not everybody shares, which is where the problems start to creep in. But we're going to talk about that in a second. Let's keep going with the numbers. So we have 300 social shares sitting out there. Let's suppose that 33% of those social shares get a click. You all know that a social share doesn't always get clicked, right? Some people will see it and some people will go, that's cool, but I don't care. So we're talking about numbers here, right? We're talking about how appealing that social share is. But let's just assume for fun that we get a 33% click-through, which means we get 100 people to hit our lead page as referred people. And if we go ahead and assume that that same 30% conversion rate that we're getting, even though these people really kind of are cold traffic and we've never talked to those people ever before, so this number's kind of a big assumption, but that will bring you 30 additional people that sign up, join your campaign, 30 new people, which are really good, potentially bringing you revenue because you're going to sell to them, because you're going to nurture your email list and they're going to be wonderful customers, right? That's how the process works, and your numbers start dwindling when you start talking about this referred traffic. But the more you know, when I start seeing these numbers in front of me, I'm like, light bulbs start going off, because what people tend to do is they focus on the lead page, and they want this conversion, these two conversion numbers, to be really high. Now, in your traditional marketing, if you put up a lead magnet, you might get 5% conversions. Contests and giveaways tend to convert higher, and my average number is about 30%, but your campaign may be much lower, might be higher, whatever. So we can work on all of these things, but this is where people typically worry about, when in fact what we really want to think about as well is all of this part of the process. Many people don't realize how difficult it is, because the marketing of tools that make it seem like it's magic. You've got to make sure that your process is really good, because you want as many people signing up through referred as you do directly. That's gold, right? If you start getting more than what you're sending in this way, then that's where bit my tongue, starts going viral and things start really happening. So what if we change that 100% on social sharing to 200%? Maybe everybody who signs up shares twice. That means you're going to get 600 through the process, and assuming a 33% click-through, that gets you 60 people, right? Assuming everything else is the same. Numbers are getting a little bit better, but we got to get them a little bit higher than that. Hi, Joanne. Joanne is one of my favorite sweepers, or contesters, as you say in Canada. Joanne enters lots of contests. It's her full-time job. And we love Joanne.
Oh boy!
I like this one too. By the way, have you seen the porcupine? The lady that feeds the porcupine, this is part of what she says.
Pretty good stuff?
A porcupine really is a very talkative creature. I had no clue. Anyway, having fun with sounds and numbers. So let's assume that we take the sharing up to 300%. So every person that signs up shares 3 times. And let's bump this number up to assume that every person that shares 3 times gets 100% clicks. So that will come through as 900 people, right? And if we get the same conversion rate, then that gets us to the 300. So I hope what this is really showing you... Joanne says, my cat's just freaked out. That's funny. Play the porcupine sound and the cats freak out. Or are they just looking at me going, but they can't see me. Anyway, so what you start seeing is, what starts making this interesting is that you start seeing where things are important for you to focus when you're creating your campaign. Number one, going from earlier charts to this one, we know, I mentioned this, not everybody shares. I'm only getting about 30% of the people who share at least once. Let that sink in a second. If only 30% of the people are sharing, how do I get this 300% number, right? Each person's got to share 9 times. in order to get to that 300% number. And I am assuming that they're not going to do that. They're more likely to just do something like Facebook or whatever. So the first job is to get people to share. Because if we can't get them sharing something like these 100%, 300%, I'm going to answer that in just a second, Nina. If you can't get them sharing, now, and this is kind of assuming one day's worth of traffic, right? I mean, it's obviously if people keep sharing multiple times, then this number is going to go up, right? For themselves. And, well, let's just talk about it now. So the question is, got to move this out of the way. If an opt-in is already shared when they sign up, why would they share again? Bingo! All right? That's one of the money questions. Thank you. And I see more people have tuned in. Pop in and ask a question. Say hi. Just let me know where you are, what you're doing. If this is making sense, if you're having any questions. If this is a light bulb moment, let me know. Because this is a light bulb moment for me when you start seeing it visually and how hard you have to work, right? Joanne says, bless your heart, with no incentive to share, then why bother? All right, bingo. That's another answer to Nina's question, right? This is the problem. It's the opportunity. Let me just reframe that. It's the opportunity with viral sharing tools like upViral and Viper and all the others. The key is to offer the incentive, as Joanne said, to share. You give them bonus entries in the contest. If it's a contest, chances to win. If they get 3 people to sign up for your campaign, then you give them a t-shirt or a free electronic thing that doesn't cost you anything. It's free to you, but maybe it has inherent value, right? Maybe it's a $100 training program. If you need to incentivize people, and there's things that are in this process, right? Number one, your lead page and your shared page have to be, I'm going to get rid of this comment. The lead page and the share page have to entice people. They have to be high quality. You have to be able to put the right offer in front of people to get a 30% conversion. There's all kinds of things that has to happen in this part of the process. If you go back to the old fishbowl at the restaurant, right, there is no incentive for anybody, as Joanne says, and as Nina asks. If you put your business card in the fishbowl at the restaurant to win a free lunch, you're not going to go tell your friends because you want the fewest number of business cards in the fishbowl so that you're the winner. This is kind of the curse of the contest, right? The curse is that people don't want to share. Ding, 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 Joanne says. The people in the contest world would share it to death if you give them the right incentive. So that's why I love seeing these numbers, because you got to realize that it's a numbers game, right? It's incentives that bring the numbers up. It's a social sharing message, right? I mean, if I go back to here, when I had the social sharing, if your social sharing image, I don't have one absolutely darn ready handy because I didn't prepare that, right? Maybe I do in my presentation somewhere. I don't. Okay, if it looks like this one's an example. It's a Monopoly game, but if your social sharing image, well, let's look at this one. If your social sharing gets people excited, they go, oh, win a backyard log cabin. Man, I'd like to have that. Right? If the social sharing message, this message, is enticing to people, then your numbers are going to go up. I'll come back all the way down my presentation to get to the numbers. Ian, I'm going to get to your question in a second. if you can't get your social sharing message, like even I said the 33% conversion rate here, imagine that you do your social sharing message and Facebook only shows that to 7% of the people in your feed, right? So if you got 1,000 people in your feed, if Betty Lou signs up and she's got 1,000 people that are friends of hers, but only 70 people see it, right? So part of this conversion, this number I threw in here is not going to be 100% because you're not going to get on your social sharing that everybody's going to see it in the first place and everybody's going to click on it. It's got to be enticing enough to get them to come through in the first place, right? That's when I switched over to the 100% in this conversion. The numbers start coming up. So if you're not building your incentives properly, if the right offer is in front of people and it doesn't look appealing and they don't stop their scrolling in the Facebook feed or wherever to click on it, then the share is wasted. Ian, thank you for commenting, Ian, and asking a question. Hey, in your experience, how do people convert when the incentive is a small raffle? Well, number one, let's clarify the words for what the incentive is. And be careful with your words, because in the United States, a raffle is illegal to be running online. A raffle generally involves, in the United States, a payment. So you're buying somebody's chance to win something. So I understand you're probably just talking about the incentive is a small prize, maybe? Is that what you're talking about? It's not the price of the prize that matters. It's whether or not it appeals to the people. So that's the first part. Let me give you an example. Bradley Waldrop has run a campaign in the survival niche. And they tried multiple different prizes. $300 camping stove. These are the preppers, the people that are afraid of the bomb. What they found was a $49 flashlight was a fantastic prize for a giveaway. So it doesn't have to be expensive. It has to be what they're excited to enter or to win. Second part of your question, can they see how many people have shared, i.e. the chances of winning? If you're doing a leaderboard campaign, or a campaign with most points, upViral has a leaderboard function. Viper has a leaderboard function. I don't think Gleam does, but many of the tools have a leaderboard where you can see what your position is on the leaderboard. But that isn't always a total It isn't always a total view of how people have done. So if Betty Lou signs up and she shares on social media, she cannot see how many people have seen her message. She cannot see how many people have clicked on the message, but she can see how many entries she has. And those entries are based on people actually registering. So anybody that goes through this process and clicks the button on Enter to Win and ends up on the share page from Betty Lou sharing, she gets the ability to see how many people have done that. Yes. Joanne says Gleam does not have a leaderboard, which is what I thought. But hopefully you see that there's lots of pieces in this pie that you need to think about, and most people who go into running a campaign do not think about these things, which is why I'm creating a course to cover all of this. The planning side of running a campaign is strategically important. If you are not understanding this entire process, if you think that it's just really simple, that there's a lead page and a share page and people are going to share it like crazy, without understanding how the pieces fit together and how the numbers flow through, then you're not doing yourself a favor. You're not going to run a very good campaign, in my opinion. You might get lucky, and put the right offer out there. But if we go backwards and look at some of these earlier numbers, getting 30 people to sign up for every 300 that register is not going to take you viral. You need to have more people signing up as referred people than direct leads coming in through whatever mechanism you're doing. Direct email. I need to put Facebook ads or ads on here because you could be running ads to your campaign. But if you're not getting really good conversions through this referral process, and if you're not looking at your data, your statistics, and really understanding what you see inside of the tools, then you're going to walk away and say contests don't work. You're absolutely going to be really disappointed in what you're doing. For some reason, my comments aren't scrolling up. The key, Ian says, okay, the key is to understand what your audience really values. Let's ring the bell for Ian, because that is the money question. That's the money answer. Right? If you don't offer them the right incentive, none of this works. And that includes not only the prize, but rewards, because the rewards are what happens over here in the referral process. If you're not putting out the right incentives or rewards, not only at the beginning, but at the sharing side, your campaign's going to suck big time. I shouldn't say suck. It's going to struggle to make this happen. And my mouse just died. There it is. There, it's gone. My battery must be dying. Now, if you want to see, I have Funnelytics open over here. Funnelytics is the tool that I use to generate those images. And it has, so here's that same image. I actually decided to put a second share page to make it a little bit more obvious. So here's the second share page. But it has a forecasting option. If I click on forecast, then I can start putting in percentages for all of these things. And I can change how the process clicks through. What I was showing you over here was Keynote, and I had to manually type in all these numbers. So Funnelytics is a fantastic tool. You can see like these click-through percentages here and all the traffic steps in the front that you can put in. And if you, I don't have any numbers in here because I haven't run any people through. But if you turn on the numbers for a campaign, you see it's now added these additional numbers, the black numbers as opposed to the orange ones. And you can actually start monitoring traffic through your campaign, which is really cool. Nina said, thank you, Nina. This is super interesting. Please let me know when you run your course. I gotta fly. Thank you for tuning in if you're still here. If you're not, thanks for tuning in anyway. And commenting and letting me know that you found this interesting. This is fascinating stuff to me. I really feel happy that I've been able to convert this to a visual process. I have used, let's see if I still have it open. I have used Market Plan, which apparently is not working right now. Oh, there it goes. I've been using Market Plan to do some demos of this funnel. Similar process, right? Similar look and feel. But it doesn't, it has a forecasting feature, but it doesn't forecast the way I want to do. And anyway, so I like both tools, but Funnelytics is giving me the ability to not only do a forecast, but do numbers, and it's really cool. There's a thing called flow, but I don't have any data in here for flow. It would show you where the majority of traffic was coming and going through the process. It's pretty cool too. But I don't have any numbers coming through. So does anybody have any questions? That's my content for the day. Anybody have any questions? Anybody that's still here? There are several of you who are still here. Ian's asked some great questions. Joanne, thank you for popping in. Nina, thank you very much for your comments. I'm scrolling back to see if anybody else has said anything. Nope. Does this make sense? Did this ring any light bells for you? Any light bells? Any light bulbs for you? The window's on the wrong screen. I'm putting together multiple courses, by the way. God, I've been on here 30 minutes. I spent more time than I thought. 5 thumbs up. Thank you very much for the reaction. If you're... I'm stalling just a hair to see if any questions pop in, because I know there's a delay between the time that I speak and the time that it shows up. Joanne says, always a pleasure to learn. Thank you. Joanne, I always learn from you as well. I always get good stuff because, especially, so this is a tip, right? For those of you who are running contests, Nina and Ian, most people say Ian, right? They don't say Ian. Ian, for those of you that are doing, thank you for the hearts too, by the way. Those are flying by. Much appreciated. For those of you that are running contests, Joanne, or people like Joanne who enter contests, the people on the other side, the people that are the direct traffic, the people that are the referred traffic, you need to be talking to those people and finding out what works and what doesn't work. Ian asked earlier about finding the right offer. Guess what? There's a thing called a phone, or there's a thing called Zoom. And if you have people like Joanne who are willing to talk to you, one of the best things you can do is get on the horn with them and ask them, what do you really want to win? I'm in the process. I'm in the business of survival niche. Let's go back to Bradley's thing. Do you want to win a crock pot or a cooking stove or a flashlight? Oh, flashlight. That really appeals to you, huh? Tell me why. And Joanne tells you why the flashlight really appeals. You say, well, what else would incentivize you to share that with your friend? Because I know that you don't want to just tell everybody because you want to have the pot be as small as possible. But if I gave you 20 extra chances to win if Joanne or if Betty Lou comes into your contest, would that incentivize you? What if it was 50 points? And you need to be talking to the people that enter your campaigns. And Joanne says, love you, Joanne. Always love to help. I pick on you too sometimes, but if you really want to run a good contest, you need to be talking to the people that enter your campaigns. Send them a survey. Offer them a chance to win something if they answer the survey. Cool stuff, right? Stalling. Hey, where's my sound? Stalling. All right, enough of that. Ian, I haven't done a contest yet, figuring out how to best present my offer. Thank you for asking a question. Woohoo! Or, well, never. Huh? I added some sounds over the weekend too. All right, figuring out how to best present my offer. First thing I say before I go on any further is just get it done. I am just as guilty of this as everybody else on the planet. So heed my advice. Just get it done. Quit trying to figure out the best way to present your offer and just present it. And then next time, present it better. do a small, quick contest, get it up and running, and start getting some feedback, start adding some people to your email list, and it ain't going to be perfect the first time, or the second time, or the third time. I'm still learning every campaign I'm doing, and I've done over 100. There's always things to be learning on how to make this better. Second part of your question, I would presume the copy would be different to offering it via Facebook. Not necessarily. You might have more content on your landing page than you do on a Facebook ad, but you need to be conscious of what your copy is, of course, because a lot of the people, you remember the viral loop traffic, those people are cold. They have no idea who you are and what the heck your offer is, other than they've seen a social sharing message. So you need to educate them on your landing page as to what your offer is and why it's so exciting. Why they have to have it. That's part of that conversion rate, right? Your copy could be the same, but I suspect your landing page is going to have more copy, and you're going to explain things better. Joanne says, Facebook is awesome to contest on. Well, sure. The tool that we're using, typically I'm using upViral, it runs externally, but you're sharing on Facebook. You're using Facebook ads as traffic. So we're hoping to get a bigger audience than just Facebook. Direct us to your page using Facebook, i.e. a link. Yes, absolutely. That's part of those custom actions that I was talking about. That they don't add anything in terms of referral traffic, but they do add people hitting your site, potentially buying something, etc., etc. You always want to be doing that as well, and offering incentives for them to go visit those places. No stitches.
Dad, you're always right.
Thank you, Victoria. I am always right. No, that's not true. My wife will tell you that that's not true. If you don't know me and don't know where anything is in my world, why didn't that come up? Oh, there it is. The icons are gone. That is weird. Huh. I'm using a tool. Wow. That is weird. I've deleted it. That's part of the problem. Huh. If you go to giveawayrocket.com/gift, that's not the right URL that I wanted to use. But if you go to my website, giveawayrocket.com, there's a... Let me just show you. It's also easier, right? So let me... Oops, wrong button. If you go to giveawayrocket.com, see, that doesn't turn off. Why is that not working? I apologize. You'll get an initial survey. You can click on the double arrows here to make that go away. If you go to the Resources tab, which that link /gift will take you here, there are all kinds of things, and I had intended to have this finished over the weekend, but that's life. Things cropped in, and I found something new to share with you. But if you want a case study, this one is awesome. The free thread case study is awesome. I went through that with a client the other day, and he was like, holy cow, Mitch, there's gold in this. There are other things here, like you can go into the demo contest. Nina, who was here earlier, had found... Huh, it's not on here. I apologize. These need to have images, because I didn't finish that. But there's another demo that I have, which I thought I had added, but I haven't, obviously, of a Safari. And that one is really awesome. Why did I come here? I said I was going to come here for some... Anyway, the resources tab is where you need to go on giveawayrocket.com. Ian asks, hey, Mitch, when are you going to do a review on upViral? What do you mean? You mean a contest? That's an upViral contest and I review it and rip it to shreds? I did one on Friday. If you go back to my Facebook profile, and that's facebook.com/planetmitch. I gave Nicole an hour-long review of an upViral campaign. And I gave a lot of value if I speak for myself. I'm modest, too. You know that, right, Joanne? Is that right? I'm modest. So giveawayrocket.com/gift will get you there, I think. I think I set that up, right? I know I did. Gift. I'm typing it, and you can't see me do it, but yes. I was on a podcast Friday, by the way. And that will be coming out in a couple of weeks, which was really, really fun because it was my nephew, not my nephew, my good friend's nephew interviewed me for his podcast, which is kind of crazy. I've known this kid for 40 years. Anyway, nobody's asking any questions. Hopefully I have answered everything. Yes, feedback on the landing page, Ian says. You create one, Ian, I will give you a review for no charge. Typically, I'm charging $50 these days to do campaign reviews. It's listed on that page, as a matter of fact. But periodically, I will do one to try to get some excitement flowing, to try to get people interested in what I'm doing. And so let me know, Ian, and I will do you one. Okay? All right. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I'm going to sign off, and I'm looking for something fun to play. How about this one?
Goodbye, dear.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That's the worst goodbye I've ever heard. And you stole it from a movie.
I stole it from a movie. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.